watch it play with itself because, why not? Hey everybody, welcome back to Luxinda Swirl's Paper and Other Obsessions channel. We are going to go back to the Pebeo paints today because after I finished the last video and I, took a look at everything, I thought this is really cool for small enclosed spaces, but I want to try something bigger. Plus, I have a new set of paints from the same company, the Pebeo brand. These are called the Vitrail paints. I will link to everything below. And on top of the Vitrail and the Moon and the Prisme from last time, I also discovered that they have a glitter paint in the same universe of theirs. And they all interact in a pretty cool way with each other. So that's what we're going to experiment with today on a bigger surface. And I'm going to actually do two things here. I am going to use this is a black canvas. So I'm going to use half of this black, or approximately half of this black canvas, and we're going to do a much bigger compilation or experiment or play around with the paints on part of this. And then just because I'm really curious what happens when these paints dry, I am going to put a silicone mat on the other side of this canvas, and we are going to pour a bunch of these paints on here because I want to see what happens when they dry. Do they peel off? Do you get something like an acrylic skin, or does it just kind of flake off and you can't use it for anything else? I'm genuinely curious about that. So we're gonna play. Okay, so I've taken all the paints out of the boxes. The Vitrail paints are clear, whereas these two are mica based, so they're opaque with something going on in them. I don't really know how to describe it. But anyway, we used the Prisme and Moon sets, these two, last time. I will link to that video below if you don't know what I'm talking about because I go through all the colors there. So I'm not going to do it again here. The Vitrail, we have the following colors. We have a crimson, a lemon, an orange, a chartreuse, a blue sky, and looks like another gold. Doesn't even say, but gold. So most of these are clear. I don't anticipate the clear ones will show up that great on this background, but since we're going to be using them with all the other paints, I'm going to use everything that's here. I'm not going to worry about form or function. We're just going to put some paint on the canvas and on the silicone mat and watch it play with itself because, why not? Let's have some voyeuristic fun, right? All right, I'm going to take the time to stir all these up, but that will be a real quick fast-forwarding montage here, and then we'll get to it. All right, I'm just going to start pouring. Okay, now the glass. Ooh, look at that! All right, and finally, the glitter medium. Let's set the time-lapse camera and see how it turns out. And we're back. Okay, it's a few days later, and I've learned one very valuable lesson because of these Pebeo paints. That is, if I intend to show you any close-up, which was my intention after I poured these beautiful blobs and I set the camera going on time-lapse, the idea was you were going to see every little burst of a cell in these things. And I didn't set the camera up right. I set it on basically on regular instead of on, super focused close-up. So what you just saw is cool looking, probably. It looks kind of like, I don't know, rivers of different colors of lava flowing or whatever, but it misses out on all the little detail cells that we saw in those pieces of jewelry I did in the last Pebeo paints video. So I'm disappointed with that. I may try and recreate this, but I've run out of time. I basically have to finish this video up in order to get something to you on Friday. And I don't blame you if you're not very excited about it because it wasn't very clear what I was trying to show. However, there are a couple things we can look at here now that these have dried. One of which is that, remember I told you I wanted to see what would happen if I put some of this paint on a silicone mat and, let it dry, and then what? Does it behave like acrylics or not, which you can just peel off? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. Now it's still a little sticky on the back. I did not let this side dry. It's sticky on the back, but this does peel off and I can do something with it now. I'm going to put it back on there for the moment. I can do something with it, and I think that's how we're going to finish up the video, is me trying to do something with this that I can use in a future video. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And then I wanted to show you this piece because it's absolutely beautiful. Focus in like that and get you some really gorgeous close-ups. I just think that is so beautiful. I mean, every part of it is gorgeous. It just didn't show like I wanted it to in the time lapse. And I'm so sorry about that because it was really spectacular to watch. Okay, so now I have this black canvas with a gorgeous blob of paint there. I wanted to do something around it. I am not a fine artist. I believe I've said that a few million times already. So I can't just draw a pretty picture around it. But one thing I can do is over on the other channel, I was swatching some of these Coloro or Colero paints. I still don't know how it's pronounced. And the one that I thought might be applicable here, this is the Magic set. And if we can, I don't know, come up with anything that will make this look interesting. This is going to be something of a disaster, I think. It's me trying to salvage something that I probably shouldn't be trying to salvage in the name of publishing a video. God only knows what that was or is, but there you have it. Wow, is that a hot mess or what? A true mixed media piece, a true original, most definitely. All right, now for the other one. Got the parchment paper because the underside of this is sticky. I'm going to move it off of the silicone mat onto here so I can cut it. I want to find a spot on here that contains all sorts of good things that I like. And I like blue always, and purple. So I'm going to try and do something. In a future video, we will put the heart in the mold. Maybe do some other things. If you have any ideas, this would be a good time to go down to the comment section and let me know what you think I can do with some of these other scraps. So I will see you next week. Please be safe and have a good week until then.